Good afternoon, class. Welcome to this session of modern organization and management. In our previous session, we were discussing the facts regarding different types of organization structure that are being implemented by different organization all over. Now, there is no any set rule regarding a particular type has to be adopted by a particular type or kind of industry. Now, it all depends upon how the management wants their organization to be, and it depends upon what works best for each organization, be it same kind of industry with different size or be it in different sector also. Now, the type of organization definitely differs from one another. What we are trying to discuss is normally these could be the types of organization. Now, having said that, we had seen some of the organization where we try to understand it by, in terms of departmentation, functional departmentation, departmentation by product, and departmentation by territory, departmentation by customer, departmentation by process, or what we call it as departmentation by equipment. We can do departmentation on the basis of marketing channel. Departmentation can be done on the basis of time, and we also discussed regarding a combined departmentation where two or more earlier discussed departments were combined. Now we shall discuss regarding project organization, or what is this project organization structure. Now, as the name suggests, or whenever you hear a term word project, the first thing that should come to our brain is that now such a type of departmentation, or rather than telling or speaking regarding department, project. Project, the word itself means something done on a temporary basis. Now, this shall not be fixed until the entire lifetime of the organization or for a long time period. The project organization, it shall be based for one particular project what the company might take up. Now time, there is no any uh, fixed as in it should be completed within certain time period, but definitely it bonds and dies along with the project. Now, any temporary organization which has been designed or which has been brought up to achieve or to reach some specific result, by using a particular set of maybe specialists or a team of specialists from different functional areas in the organization, can be called as project organization. Now, one thing is that the people who would be working for a certain project, they shall be the employees of the organization itself most of the times. But then they can be picked up from different functional areas. And here, the entire team, they try and they put all their energy and they try to focus all their skills on the one particular project what has been assigned for them. Now once what has been assigned to them, or once what we call as project is completed, then again the members of the team shall be divided or broken up, and they shall be reassigned to their earlier positions or regular positions in the organization, or there are chances that they might be appointed to do some other new project. So if we go by definition, then a project organization is designed to achieve specific results by using teams of specialists from different functional areas in the organization is called as a project organization. So now the question is, so during what particular times can we use this project structure? So already the organization will be having its own structure. It can be of any kind that we have discussed or something other than what we have discussed. But already when it has its own organization design, why again this project organization? Now this project structure is important from the point of view that it is a one time task, and it can be described or defined in terms of single and specific goals, or rather we can put it like a single goal which can be stated specifically. And we should always remember that project arrangements are always temporary. Now, once after the completion of the project team is disbanded. And therefore, if we go by definition, a project must end at an objective point in the time. Now, if we see current trends, such project organization, they're having a very large scope. Usually, you might have heard your friends or your seniors or any of your family members who is working in any kind of the IT field or who might be engineers. You might have heard them speaking that their company has taken up a certain new project, and because of that, their work schedule might be hectic and any such thing. So how they shall be designed is what we are trying to discuss under this project organization. Now one more thing about this project organization is definitely it shall be unfamiliar in nature, or we can tell it as it lacks precedent. Now, whenever there is any kind of unfamiliarity, usually it would result in disagreement, uh, especially with the fact that how things would be managed under such a organization. And when it comes to a project organization and it is a one time, it is temporary, it has been not, it is not being done on a continuous thing. You cannot change it on a frequent basis, or you do not have a chance wherein if you do any kind of mistake you can implement the next time. So under such system or under such a design, the people who are working at lower level, they had there is a necessary that they have to be educated thoroughly, especially regarding what is expected of them by their senior executives, so that the senior executives, they can put all their time, effort, skills and all their concentration on more important things like maybe cost estimates, time schedules and other things which cannot be delegated to the lower level of management. And one more nature about project organization is that it is very complex in nature, and it usually calls for a very high degree of interdependence among the tasks that are happening in the organization. Now, if you go through the PPT and the diagram, they have very briefly have mentioned regarding the project, and the president of the company would be there, and there you have managers of production, sales and research. You have taken up a project management. The company has taken up two projects, project 1 and project 2. Now if you see through this, now the people from production and sales have been put up for both project 1, project 2, and also people from research. And also remember, when an organization takes up a separate project, definitely there shall be a high stake for the successful completion of the project. And the outcome of such projects shall definitely be extremely critical for the organization. Now, if we go through the nature of the project management, then first of all, we can speak about the project manager. The project management definitely, it requires a position which is filled by a project manager. And this person shall be responsible for the completion of the entire project. Now, the project manager is the person who should make sure that the project in any way will not get lost or will not be shuffled in between the other or the regular organizational activities. Now, he should be knowing in specific, and he has to mention in specific what are the things it has to be done, and when is the project due, or when is it to be completed, and how much sources are required. Now, in turn, the functional manager is the one person who decides who in their units will be performing the task and how shall all these tasks be done. Now, this project manager, he is the one person who can be regarded as a unifying agent and one of the main focal point for the project activity. Now, regarding team members. Now, how shall be the team members of a project management? Now, the project, it involves members definitely from various functional departments, but that does not mean people inside the company are only to be taken. Now, there are also frequent chances that people outside the organization or the employees can also be hired. Now, the team. Now, earlier the members who were the employees might be working under some other supervisor, some other manager. But when they have been put up for a project, when they are working under a project, then definitely they shall be responsible only to the project, project manager or the concerned project manager. And also the fact that the members who are being put up for a project, now their membership shall definitely be temporary, as project itself is temporary. And the size of the group, it may change with the different phases of work. In the initial phase, maybe a less number of people are necessary. In the mid phase, or when the project is at its peak, maybe it requires a lot of people, and during the completion also, once again, maybe the number of people that are necessary might go comparatively down. Now, as soon as the project is completed, definitely the team members, they shall either be placed back to their regular position or they shall go to another project. Now, the next is project authority. Now, speaking about the project authority, when we speak about a project, now every project, it shall definitely have a vertical as well as a horizontal dimension. Now, it usually cuts across the normal organization structures that are there. Now, any project manager, they are expected to work with various functional managers by seeking their support through bargaining. Now, the one who holds the position of this project manager, he or she, they have to convince uh, you know other functions manager that they should help the project by lending its manager the support needed to finish the given task and within the time frame. Now, in reality, usually the project managers, they face an authority gap. They'll not have authority to promote or reward their personnel or their members who are working in the team. Usually, this project manager, they lack complete authority over the team and they possess maybe what can be called as project authority. And speaking regarding this now, usually in a project structure, the role perception usually would be unclear and also it will be lacking specification. And not only that, even the relationship of the project manager himself or herself with the functional heads will be quite ambiguous or quite confusing. Now, their authority is more fluid than in a stable organization which would be having line and staff relationship only. Now, there is this weight on the project manager's head that they are expected to accomplish goals by working not only with the functional groups of the company but also with organization. Now, the total project organization usually has no certain discrete boundaries. Now, it is a complex structure that facilitates the coordination and also integration of many project activities. Now, in actual, the amount of authority given to project manager varies very much widely. Now, if we speak about this authority of the functional managers, now in aggregate or in total, the project manager, they enjoy complete authority over all the members of the project team. But then the functional boss might not have any kind of authority. So now the uh, fact is regarding the advantages and disadvantages. Now, unless like any other organization design, even project matrix or project organization has its advantage. Now, project managers, they definitely allow maximum use of specialized knowledge which is available to all projects on equal basis. Now, knowledge and experience can be transferred from one project to another. Now, usually, those people who are working in the project, they'll have a functional home when they are no longer required on a given project. Now, in between, they are provided with stimulating opportunities, maybe to participate in the decision process also. Now, this project organization, it does reduce, you know, environment complexity. It does it by facilitating rapid collection and processing of new information in the organization. Now, this project organization, it can also be regarded as one of the ways for promoting and maintaining flexibility in the organization. Now, through different project, it requires specialists, and specializations are necessary to achieve a goal. And all this shall be brought together as long as necessary, but never too longer than what is necessary for a project. Now, project organization, most importantly, it allows concentrated attention of experts on a complex project for a given time without distributing the normal routine work. So, if there are such huge benefits, then why is it that all the organization does not go in for such a structure? Now, as any other organizational design, even project organization has its own kind of problem. Rather than telling disadvantage, sometimes we can also tell it as problems. Now, usually, what happens in the project is that, especially among the members or employees, it creates feeling of insecurity and also uncertainty, as mainly because they not be knowing how their relationship will be working with functional manager. Now, this dual loyalty always creates anxiety and tension in the minds of employees. The second fact is that now this project structure, it is always a kind of ad hoc arrangement, and it does has a limited life. Now once the project is completed, the project shall be disbanded. In other words, the project managers and the project staff work themselves out of a job. Now, some people will feel lost without a permanent department with which they would be able to identify themselves. Now, security for such people is threatened when it appears that the organization's only commitment to them is temporary project. Now they might fear that completion of the project will mean the end of their job. Now this might encourage project slowdowns also sometimes. Now then we had discussed regarding one of the principle of management where we spoke regarding unity of command. Now if we go through the meaning of project clearly, and if we can somehow get things from practical world how project work, then definitely this project management or project organization, it violates the principle of unity of command. especially under project organization, the role prescriptions are very much unclear. Now, the relationship between especially the project manager and the functional manager is not defined properly, which leads ambiguity and conflict. Now, the project structure usually it creates insecurity and fear of unemployment as the project means completion. The members may even create work to avoid danger of being laid off by the organization. Now, there are also this chance that usually this project members they would be cut off from the mainstream of the organization, so they should be having a limited contact with the main organization. Now, in such case there are chances that the members who have skill potentiality they might be bypassed when the opportunity arises in their field, which would help them in their career advancement. Now, usually this project manager they have to perform, you know, what can we call it as a tight rope walk. Now he must be able to build the team straightway and also obtain cooperation from other departments. He has to come up with the schedule which would be very much difficult because he has to get people from all the departments. They would be already been assigned, they'll have to be taken from that, etc, etc. Not only that, they have to grapple with cost figures and decide things quickly. Now decisions to sacrifice time for cost, cost for quality, or quality for time, these are common in most projects, and project manager must be able to make them without any kind of panicking. Now, usually the project organization it creates an authority gap for project managers. Now, where responsibility overweighs authority, most projects are not self-sufficient. Now, they need support from various quarters. Top management, they are having this advantage that they can easily jeopardize the project success by lack of awareness. Now, functional cooperation may be difficult to obtain. Now, all such factors they seriously hamper the project performance. So, now whatever the disadvantage is, usually a project organization works out best for the organization which has to take up different new project for its survival. So I hope this project organization is clear, and I would like to repeat it once again. Don't try to buy her things. Whenever we are discussing or whenever the session is going on that I would be explaining, you do listen, try to understand, then maybe put down some of the points in your notes and later on try to remember it. If you forget things, you have a chance to go and play back whatever has been discussed earlier. So maybe you can do that, but do not go with the fact of by hurting things. So the next one is matrix organization structure. Now this matrix organization structure is one of the new kind. Now this is a popular organization design, and you'll find it in different advertising agencies, aerospace firms, research and development, maybe laboratories, construction companies, hospitals, government agencies, universities, or management consulting firms and entertainment companies. Now, usually this matrix structure it combines two forms of departmentation, especially the functional and the product. Now, the strength of functional departmentation is putting like specialists together, which minimizes the number necessary while allowing the pooling and sharing of specialized resources across products. But then it also has one of the major disadvantage, that is it is difficult for coordinating the task of diverse functional specialists on time and within budget. Now product departmentation has exactly the opposite benefits and disadvantage. Now it facilitates coordination among specialists to achieve on-time completion and meet budget targets. Now it provides clear responsibilities for all activities that are related to a product but with duplication of activities and cost. Now the matrix it attempts to gain the strength of each while avoiding the weaknesses. Now the most obvious structural characteristic of the matrix is that it breaks the unity of command concept. Now employees in the matrix have two bosses, their functional department manager and their product manager. Now, we can take an example. Now, in an organization or in an educational institution, now a professor or a lecturer of accounting who teaches to an undergraduate course, he may have to report to the director of the undergraduate program as well as to the chairperson of the accounting department also. Now, the strength of the matrix is its ability to facilitate, coordinate when the organization has, number of complexities and interdependent activities. Now, direct and frequent contacts between different specialists in the matrix, it can let information permeate the organization and more quickly reach the people who need it. Usually, the matrix reduces what is called as bureaupathologies or the dual line of authority, reduce people's tendency to become so busy protecting their little worlds that the organization goals become secondary. Now, a matrix also achieves economies of scale and facilitates the allocation of specialists by providing, both the best resources and also an effective way of ensuring their efficient deployment. Now, the major disadvantage of the matrix lies in the confusion it creates. Now, its propensity to foster power struggles and the stress it usually places on individual without the unity of command concept, and also ambiguity about who reports to whom is significantly increased and often leads to conflict. Now, it's not unusual for product managers to fight over getting the best specialists assigned to their products. Now, managers to fight over getting the best specialists who would be, assigned to their products or assigned to their project. Now, even bureaucracy it reduces the potential for what can we call as power grabs, because it defines the rules of the game. Now, when those rules are up for grabs in a matrix, power struggles between functional and project managers result. Now, for individuals who desire security and absence from ambiguity, this work climate can be very much stressful. Now, reporting to more then one boss introduces role conflict usually. And also there shall be unclear expectation, introduce role ambiguity. Now the comfort of bureaucracy's predictability is definitely replaced by insecurity and stress under a matrix organization. Now, by definition, a matrix organization can be said as a permanent organization designed to achieve specific result by using team of specialists from different functional areas in an organization. Now, undoubtedly, it is an hybrid structure where it combines both functional and project structures in the same part of the organization. So, what might be the reason which gave rise to such matrix structure? Now, it was introduced or it was born in American aerospace industries during the early 1960s. Now, the government of America had made a condition for the research and development contracts with the fact that contracting firms should have a project management system. Now, this was the thing which paved the way for introduction of matrix firm. Now, one of the main reasons for the growth of matrix organization is the need to deal with increasing complexity. Now, matrix structure is the organization's response to a turbulent field environment. Then the next reason can be the conflicting environmental pressure. Now, since it was introduced in aerospace industries, now there the importance was given too much for technical excellence, and also the fact how they were able to satisfy their customer requirements. Now, both this will be invariably linked to deadlines, and also they shall have cost limitations. Now, all such situation they can be met either by organizing entirely on a project basis or by project management. Now, this matrix structure it enables the organization to reach the dual demands from the environment. Now, resources can be allocated across different products and the organization can adapt to changing external requirements. The next reason was high information processing. Now, usually such organization which demands rapid which has to respond very quickly for the rapid changes in the markets and technology, and which face uncertainty, which gives or which generates high information processing, all such kinds of organization, this matrix organization finds it better to be implemented. Now, greater the uncertainty of the task, the greater the amount of information to be processed, especially among decision makers during the task execution. Now, a matrix forms offloads part of the information processing task to lower levels of organization through direct interfunctional contact. Now, um, as we all know, any kind of resource, maybe it in terms of financial, maybe in terms of human resource, or any other resource that the organization has, there is always and a constant necessary that the organization has to use it better from time to time. Now, if a project requires half a computer scientist, it does not need to support a whole one half employee. The matrix form provides an excellent opportunity for start performers and possessors of rare skill to contribute to more than one project or to more than one functional department. Now, the traditional forms simply lock up the scarce inputs in one functional department or product organization. Now, they tend to view internal resource as their property. Consequently, the scarce resources are underutilized. Now, the matrix form emphasizes the interdependence of departments rather than boundaries between themselves. That is to tell, now if you have a skill in the old structures or the earlier departmentations that we discussed, your skills will be only utilized up until that point what is necessary by your department. Any other skills, any greater skill, any other competent knowledge that you have would be of wish. But under matrix organization, all your potentialities can be well utilized. If not from one project, for some other project. If not for one department, for the department where it is necessary. So where can we, in the introduction I said, but then where can be this matrix organization probably be used? Now, the matrix structure is, most commonly used in aerospace, chemicals, electronics, industrial products, banking, insurance, retailing, even in accounting, advertising, hospitals, and also maybe in universities also. Now, speaking more about matrix organization structure, here the project managers they shall be assigned with different types of projects. Now, rather than one single, a whole lot of activities which can be cut across traditional functional departments will be allotted. Now, it is matrix structure is simply an extension of project management concept. Now, this matrix it breaks the unit of command definitely, and the classic principle of what we call as one man, one boss is violated. The vertical hierarchy is also overlaid by formal of lateral influence. The legitimates of the matrix lateral chains of influence. Now, the structures definitely will be two-dimensional grid, and therefore it has the name matrix organization. Now, at any given point of time, there shall be a number of project managers who direct the activities of number of projects. Now, while the functional heads allocate their resources to meet the requirement of these various projects, the project managers will have authority over project employees relative to their project goals. Now, discussions such as promotion, salary increase, employee performance, appraisal, they usually remain a part of functional managers' responsibility. So, what are the roles or what are the important roles that exist in matrix organization? Now, it can be discussed under three different heads from the point of view of top leadership, from the point of view of matrix bosses, and from the point of view of matrix subordinates. Now, speaking about the top leadership, the definitely the top leader holds the entire balance of power, and they must be such people who would be willing to delegate the decisions. Now they should have direct contact and also have the skill of group problem solving at lower levels so that they can promote effective communication in the entire organization. And the second one is regarding matrix bosses. Now they shall be having authority over project employees uh, with regards to the goals of that particular project. Now they shall share subordinates with other bosses also. Now they definitely will not be having full control over their subordinates. They shall be responsibilities pertaining to functional rules and standards for them. Now rather than manager, they shall act as an integrator. Now they are required to achieve the specific project and also by maintaining you know time, cost and performance. And they should be such person who should be willing to face you know one another on disagreements. And the last one is regarding two boss managers or matrix subordinates. Now regarding this, um, the subordinates they shall be definitely are often confronted with an agonizing choice. Now they must confront senior managers, especially with regard to conflicting demands, and they must reach upon joint decisions with them. Now, just like a child adjusting to conflicting demands from two parents, he is expected to move along with both managers smoothly. Now, in such dual assignment, as indicated by one of the management thinker Friedlander, there is usually a lack of jurisdiction clarity among the subordinates. Now, furthermore, regarding matrix organization structure is regarding the strength. Now, definitely the following what has been given may be regarding the efficiency. There shall definitely be efficient utilization of resource, especially when it comes to the skills and the manpower. Now it can be freely allocated across different products, especially to the places where is very much necessary, rather than locking up in certain field, and thereby it facilitate efficient location of specialization. Now specialized knowledge is available to all the products and projects on equal basis. Now the knowledge and also the experience it can be transferred from one project to another. Now each project can share the specialized resource with other units. Now rather than duplicating it to provide independent coverage for each. Now if a project demands half an astrophysicist, now it does not need to support a whole one half occupied. Then regarding flexibility also it provides strength. Now it encourages a continuous interaction among the members of the project units and also the functional departments of the organization. Now the direct and frequent contact between different specialists in the matrix it can make for better communication and also more flexibility. Then regarding the technical excellence, definitely any kind of matrix organization, it will maintain high technical standards, and also it will be having innovative solutions for technical problems. Now the next one is balance. Here balance we are speaking in terms of customers need for the project completion, and also the cost control with the organization need for economic cooperation. Now a better balance between time, cost and performance can be obtained in the project in the matrix organization. And it also reduces the dual lines of authority, or what we call as bureaupathologists. Now remember this word when it comes for matrix organization. One main advantage of matrix organization is it reduces bureaupathologists, or what we call as the dual lines of authorities. Now to spell bureaupathologists, it is spelled as BUREAUPATHOLOGIES. It is a one word. I'll repeat it once again. It is bureaupathologist. It is BUREAUPATHOLOGIES. Now, bureaupathologist means the dual lines of authority is reduced. Now, the one more advantage is that it frees top management by permitting decision makings at lower levels. Now, there are a lot of decisions which are to be made at lower level. Now, the top managers, they will have more time to interact with the environment of the organization rather than be, stuck with the lesser important things which can be managed by lower level people themselves. Now there is no necessary that the top management needs to bury itself in endless daily routine. Now they can concentrate more on long range planning. Now matrix structure, it facilitates a rapid management response to changing market and also technical requirements. Now, regarding the motivation. Now, if we see the traditional organization structure, one of the fact is that it is based on the assumption that the position in which the employees are there, they should be having equal contribution in terms of the rewards what they get. That is to tell, the higher the position of an individual in the organization, the more authority he has, and because of this, they perceive that the greater the knowledge he possesses, the more shall be his contribution. And because of all this, he should be rewarded more and more. And if we see in many of the organization, this holds good even today. Then last one we can speak regarding the development. Now, it usually helps employees to develop and grow. Um, it definitely increases their experience and their outlook for a problem. Now, it has the tendency to expose the employees to a very wide area of full of challenges. Now, the process of job rotation, it helps them to learn something of value from other specialties. Now, auditors, they learn about marketing. Engineers develop knowledge of financial matters and accounts. Accountants might learn about quality control. Now, a matrix structure gives the person of high potential an excellent means of demonstrating their capabilities and make a name for themselves. Now, while we have so many strengths, now the matrix organization is not out of weaknesses. Now, there shall definitely exist power struggle, especially between the product manager and functional manager. Now, unfortunately, they share same set of resources, which might result for unhealthy competition. Now, definitely, when it is the case, each of the manager they will try to safeguard their control over the given operation by building a protective wall which might hamper the work of the other. Now, stress. Now, the matrix organization can be one of the very stressful place to work. Now, the individuals might be subjected to conflicting and confusing expectations from others. Now, the subordinate they become a political football of the two superpowers in the organization. The members of project teams possess only de facto decision making power. And an employee, they might be expected to, shoulder normal operating responsibilities as usual and also find time to participate in endless meetings and also maybe in tedious discussion. Then one of the problem is regarding the cost. Now the matrix organization it incurs great administrative cost than a conventional hierarchy. Now in an attempt to cover themselves against blame, the managers they might try to put everything in writing. Now the dual chain of command turns the matrix structure into another form of anarchy. Now there is also this difficulty of the information has to be processed through written reports. Now the next point is with the balance. See, balance can be advantageous for the organization. It can also be a problem with the organization. Now, speaking about balance, it is always difficult to strike a balance between project and functional authority. Now, the two kinds of influence are negatively correlated. Now, the more successful lateral collaboration is achieved at a given level, the greater are the stress up through the vertical hierarchy. Now, with more senior managers resentful of being bypassed. And conversely, the better the vertical relationship in the line hierarchy, the more likely the lateral activities are to suffer from. Now, boundary disputes and communication blocks. And these are the reasons of matrix organization have been, can be sometimes be costly or bureaucratic or inhibiting technical achievement or overburdening time management. But then there are some of the points how we can make this matrix work. First is defining the roles. Now the roles of both, especially the project and functional manager, they have to be clearly defined. Now the it can be like no, the functional manager has to decide who should do and how, whereas the project manager should do what should be done and when it should be done. So they can avoid any kind of misunderstanding. Now, organizational development techniques can be employed, especially to improve cross-functional collaboration, like maybe training, team building activities, or training in group and interpersonal skill, and it can be employed to facilitate new norms of behavior. Then regarding the guidelines. Now the project membership, it should be perceived as an important and rewarding assignment. Now it should not take the form of imposition. Now the meetings of the project team should be preceded and followed by meetings within the functional departments who draft the team itself. So these are some of the ways how the project matrix could be worked out. Now having said this, there are few other structure also which we shall discuss in next class. So that is it for today's session. Thank you class for your patience listening. If you have any kind of doubt, you can always ask.